Hello, I'm Interweb Studios and today we ask Reddit what is something you are starting to like less and less as you get older. As a quote-unquote young spry, I cannot wait to deal with all these future problems. Before I begin, don't forget to comment things that you personally have started to hate as you have gotten older. I look forward to see what the future has in store for me. With that out of the way, sit back and enjoy. Getting up in the morning. I love the fact that I'm alive, but shit, getting up and out of bed sucks. That's the worst part of my day every day. I always say the hardest part of my day is getting up and getting to work. Once I'm at the office, it's fine and manageable, but damn it, that first hour getting out of bed and out of the house is rough. Being sick. It was an excuse to stay home and play video games when I was a child, and my body could usually fight it off pretty well. Sick days weren't even that bad. Now my body hurts a lot more with much lesser illnesses, symptoms linger around much longer, and many times it's not serious enough to justify staying home, so I just have to go about my day anyways. If I do get sick enough to stay home from work, I am nowhere close to being in good spirits. I am not playing video games all day long. I am laying in bed contemplating where it all went wrong. Scrape your knee, whelp, that's gonna be sore for the rest of my life. So I went to the doctor and I was like, my ankle hurts, and so he showed me some stretches I could do and told me I could take some Tylenol. So I asked him, how long until it's better? And he said, what do you mean? And I said, well, how long do I have to do these stretches for? Until my ankle heals. And he said, oh. No. That's just a thing you do now. Until you and your shitty ankle both die. People. What a bunch of bastards. I finally understand where grumpy old people come from. We are just tired of your shit. Took the wind out of my sails. I don't necessarily hate most people, and I still do good things like donate to charities, volunteer, and so on. I've just become remarkably indifferent to anybody other than my family and friends. When I was younger I was, like, a stranger is just a friend you haven't met yet. Now I'm, like, whatever. I can't be bothered. Malls. Used to love hanging out at the local mall with friends as a teen, but as an adult, I fully just beeline straight to what I need to get, and then it's just survival mode until I get back to my car. Probably because most of the fun novelty stores are gone. It's all the same fashion and sport outlets in my local mall. They all feel the same now. Me and college girlfriend did a thing we called Delta Squad, where we tactically split and canvassed the grocery store and try to set record time. One of us would start in the front corner next to produce and the other head to the opposite corner near milk. Then we'd quickly move down each the aisle, not running, but with purpose, rendezvous at checkout, and dash to the car. Beforehand, we both put on headphones and sync starting Darude Sandstorm or some other hype music on our iPod or Zune. Good times. Spending money. When I was younger, I'd save up cash and buy clothes and shoes and food and all kinds of useless shit. Now I'm in my 30s and it feels like I'm bleeding money just to survive. I'm currently looking for a new apartment with in-unit laundry, and you'd think having laundry in your apartment was a luxury for kings and queens. How does anybody afford anything? To be fair, that's not just a you thing. Stagnant wages, increasing costs of living, etc. all contribute to the average person having less saving power than they did in the past. Social media. It's vapid, boring, and a continuous stream of advertisements now. I remember when it used to be fun. Now I've deleted pretty much all forms of it except Reddit. Don't forget how easy it can be to burn time just doom scrolling. You don't even see anything interesting, you're just scrolling for the sake of scrolling. I've been working on getting out of that habit since I much rather put time towards other things. Dude, literally everything is advertisements now. It's getting exhausting. Even iMessage games are littered with advertisements. I remember when Instagram had just one advertisements you had to skip in between stories, now there's two. If you want to go to the next story on Snapchat, there's an advertisement you have to look at before you can. I hate it. Not just social media either. I can't pump gas without a tiny TV screen yelling at me about this or that. With 8 other tiny TV screens yelling the same thing just off time a little. All the while the overhead speaker also advertising some crap. Working. I dunno, I never really liked it in the first place. Same. Hated school as well, and I wasn't bullied or anything like that. I just always preferred being at home. It feels suffocating when I think about it. Waking up at the same time every day to do repetitive work and just waiting for the week to end so I can have 2 days off to do errands and dread the next 5 days and occasionally get a couple of extra days off for vacation. And dealing with an increasingly entitled public. I've come to realize that I see my coworkers more than I see my own kids, and it seems really messed up. They are young and go to bed at 8 p.m., so I literally can only spend 39 hours a week with them, best case. I work 40 hours a week plus the unpaid time wasted on lunch and commute. Staying out late like past 9 p.m. is late. Work has my eyes tired by 5 p.m. I'm physically tired by 7. Yup. Nowadays my idea of a party is being in bed by 9 p.m. with a good audiobook, so I can close my eyes and just listen. Real talk. Slowly forgetting what it was like to be a kid. As I was growing up, I always told myself, I'll never forget how I operate and think right now like all these adults around me who don't understand us. And here I am, not being able to remember what it was like to be a child. Sorry past self. I feel like I've never been able to figure out how to stop being a kid, and I'm almost 40. I still have the same lack of reverence for authority that I used to, the same disinterest in career and responsibilities and looking adult to other people. I did get married, but my wife can be pretty childish at times, so it works, mostly 10 years married, now. I look around at all the other adults taking everything in life so seriously, and I don't get it. Sometimes it makes me laugh. For example, I can see a bunch of people in suits having a serious meeting about a serious thing, and suddenly it will all seem ridiculous. I'll think, come on guys, what is all this? Stop pretending. You're not important, you're apes wrapped in fabric. In the last 6 or 7 years I've started to experience something unsettling. I'll be interacting with a person who looks old to me, and so my brain has categorized them as grown up, just like it did with my parents' friends, or with teachers etc. 30 years ago. But then I'll discover that old person is actually younger than I am. For example, I'll be out shopping with my wife and she'll run into an old classmate and start catching up. I'll idly wonder, who is this older lady my wife knows? Then I find out who she is, and my brain goes, wait. My wife is younger than me, which means she is younger than me. Oh shit. I feel the aches and pains that are starting to become more common as I age physically, but I otherwise don't feel my age. Sometimes I'll catch my reflection in a department store mirror and it takes a moment for my brain to recognize that the nearly middle-aged guy I'm looking at is me. I study myself in the mirror at home, and even though I see the wrinkles and the white hair swiftly taking over my head, I don't seem to see anyone different than I did 25 years ago. Driving at night. When headlights come at me while I drive at night, I basically spend the whole time hoping I'm in the right lane. I drive 40 minutes to work in the dark and 40 minutes home in the dark from pretty much September until April. It's horrifying. LED headlights should have never been a thing. They're great for seeing but too blinding to other drivers. I just drive as slow as I can until they pass and everyone behind me can get over it. I bought a pair of night driving glasses with yellow UV filters for very cheap at my corner pharmacy. I get way less tired driving at night, and most importantly I no longer have the problem with glare, that you see a sea of light instead of a single headlamp. For me and my wife, it made a lot of difference. Alcohol. I'm 33, and I think it's a waste of money and doesn't make me feel good. It just makes me bloat and makes me feel shitty the next day. I still drink on occasion, but very seldom these days. Yes. The older I get, the less I enjoy alcohol. In my 20s, I could drink all evening, and get up to go to work the next day. If I drank too much, I'd feel a little ill the next morning but bounce back by noon. Once I hit my mid-30s, a night of overindulgence would leave me feeling like death the entire next day. I'm now in my 40s, and anything over 1.5 drinks will keep me from sleeping at all and leave me bloated for days. I used to love red wine, but now it gives me splitting headaches. I have maybe 2 to 4 drinks per month. Also, my tolerance for conversation with drunk people is increasingly low. And you start to realize that those friends who still binge drink frequently like they are in their 20s might be alcoholics. Honestly, video games. I still like them, but I feel like only 1/10 of them hold my attention for more than a few minutes. Even then, I don't complete many these days. When I was a kid, I would play just about anything and I would do so for hours on end. For me, I still love video games, but I notice specific types of games I become less interested in. I have practically no interest in first-person shooter games anymore. They just bore me. They were never my preferred genre to begin with, but I used to at least tolerate them. Also, I am not as inclined to play massively multiplayer online role-playing games like I used to, although I do still think they're fun on occasion. Multiplayer games in general are fine, but massively multiplayer online role-playing games specifically is what I mean. Heat. I live in South Florida where people from colder climates covet our weather. They don't understand the hell that is humidity. Most of the time I walk from my car to my doorstep, I'm drenched in sweat. Walking my dog in humidity is like walking through a hot cloud. I live inland so I don't get the ocean breeze. The air feels like soup. Also, this is not the heat of my Florida youth. It was always hot, but never like this. Worse, our air conditioners cannot keep up with the constant heat. With that, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment what has gotten worse as you have gotten older. I look forward to reading the comments down below. And with that,